I thought we could do a dish with cauliflower, but we could use the whole cauliflower. Absolutely everything.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Hey, oi!
Do you know about extraordinary good food? It's both sustainable, healthy, and insanely good. Sharon's Good Food.
Welkom bij Sharon's Good Food. Vandaag heb ik er weer zoveel zin in, want ik heb Steve naast me staan. Hij komt helemaal uit Valencia en de bloemkool staat centraal. Voordat ik ga beginnen, ga ik natuurlijk eerst even Steve aan jullie voorstellen. Now I'm going to switch to English. Steve, welcome in Food Forum.
Thank you very
I'm so
much.
happy that you're here.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, yes. I always love to hear that. And you brought somebody, it was a bit strange, somebody standing there. Who is he?
I brought my main man, I brought Alex with me. Because, I mean, without Alex, I can't do anything. He's my left hand and my right hand.
He's your real wingman.
He's my main man.
And I have here Food Forum, that's
Yep.
my proud, but I see Makin Cafe.
Marking Cafe, right, Marking Cafe and decolonial food.
Yeah.
Because decolonial food is what we cook in Marking Cafe.
Now we have a great farmer here in the province of Flevoland and he brought this delicious cauliflower.
Beautiful, which are right in season here now. So it's the perfect cauliflower season, and he's brought these wonderful, very tightly packed cauliflowers with beautiful leaves. And the problem with cauliflowers is that traditionally, what did we do? We took the leaves off and we used the centre, and the leaves went in the bin, you know, so more waste. So I thought we could do a dish with cauliflower, but we could use the whole cauliflower. Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Sharon's Good Food.
Ik sta hier vandaag met Gerjan Snippe. Gerjan die heeft deze prachtige bloemkolen geleverd, want je bent een biologische boer hier in de provincie Flevoland.
Klopt.
Kun je daar zelf iets over vertellen?
Ik teel veel gewassen, ik teel biologisch, dus dan teel je veel gewassen. En ik moet zeggen, bloemkool is een van de favorieten.
Ja?
Dus ja, wel leuk om hier daar vandaag ook juist met jullie mee bezig te zijn.
En waarom is bloemkool een van de favorieten dan?
Nou, eigenlijk wel omdat het echt wel een kunst is om de plant zeg maar, uiteindelijk in zijn mooie kool te krijgen. En eigenlijk gaat er ook heel veel voorbereiding aan vooraf in de jaren ervoor. Om de grond eigenlijk gezond en krachtig genoeg te krijgen om zo'n mooie plant te krijgen.
En kun je daar een tip van geven van hoe hou je je grond nou gezond genoeg?
Ja, nou eerst hebben we echt heel erg veel geluk dat we hier in Flevoland eigenlijk, zeg ik altijd, 1000 jaar vruchtbaarheid zeg maar, hier naartoe gestroomd is uit Europa. En we daar zeg maar, deze gewassen op telen.
Komt het omdat het oude Zuiderzee is? Heeft dat ermee te maken?
Ja, eigenlijk wel. Dus je zou kunnen zeggen heel veel organische stof wat belangrijk is voor planten is hier door de rivieren naartoe gebracht. Heeft zich afgezet, daar mogen wij nu dus boer op zijn.
Ja.
Maar dat moet je ook goed onderhouden. En dat doen we onder andere door veel rustgewassen te telen. Zoals bijvoorbeeld grasklavers of etjes. Die brengen eigenlijk voeding uit de lucht weer in de bodem. Zodat uiteindelijk deze plant, je ziet hoeveel blad hij heeft.
Het is echt enorm.
Ja, eerst heel veel massa kan maken, dus echt heel veel blad vormt. Ja. En dan op een bepaald moment, en dat is altijd een beetje spannend wanneer, overgaat tot het vormen van een bloemkooltje. En als die dan groot genoeg is, dan gaan we hem oogsten.
Ik heb een gastchef vandaag,
Oké.
Steve. Hij komt uit Valencia en ook hij is bekend met de bloemkool. Maar ik denk niet zulke mooie als die jij vandaag geleverd hebt.
Nou, we laten ons graag verrassen, dus ik ben heel benieuwd.
Ik ook.
Sharon's Good Food.
I also see that you brought a lot of spices. I love spices. And some things are not familiar for me. Can you explain what you brought?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Well, so we're going to do different preparations for the cauliflower. We're going to make with the leaves, we're going to make a nice, with this tough bit in the middle, we're going to chop it up and we're going to make a nice crunchy kind of cauliflower root, which we've got here. With the leaves, we're going to make a chutney. Because Marking Cafe, we cook food really from a big area of Southeast Asia. We don't concentrate too much on borders and saying, oh, the food is from here or the food is from there. We say our food is from Southeast Asia. So basically what we're going to do is with the, we're going to make the chutney with spices. We've got cardamom, we've got mustard seeds, we've got cumin, we've got chili, we've got ginger. The cauliflower we're going to cook with a little bit of turmeric and olive oil from delicious Valencia, of course. And we're also going to use these.
What is it?
These are tiger nuts. And tiger nuts, or chufas, they're called in Spanish. And there you go. You can eat them.
Like this?
Yeah,
it's crispy.
It's crispy. They've been soaked. We're going to use them to make this drink. We're going to use them to make horchata.
And what is horchata?
Horchata is the traditional drink from Valencia. It's what you drink in the summer in Valencia on a hot summer's day. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use that milk to make Ajo Blanco.
Ajo Blanco.
Ajo Blanco is like a chilled garlic soup. So we're going to use the tiger nut milk with a little bit of blanched garlic to make Ajo Blanco. And the cauliflower, what we're going to do with the cauliflower is because we wanted to do something that was related to here, So we thought we'd wrap the cauliflower in clay because this is land that's recovered from the sea, so the soil underneath us is clay.
Yeah, in the Flevoland we have clay everywhere.
We'll wrap the cauliflower in clay, bake it, that'll keep all of the flavour inside, and then we'll crack it open.
Sharon's good food.
So we're going to remove the leaves from the cauliflower.
Yes.
Because we want to save all of those because we're going to use everything. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's actually similar what we do here in Foodtube, because here we cook like the Eat Lancet diet, and that's the only diet worldwide that's both sustainable and healthy.
Right.
And the extra thing that we do, we throw nothing away.
Yeah.
So we use everything.
Absolutely.
And that's beautiful. Did you ever hear about Eat Lancet?
I hadn't heard about it. No, it's a kind of a philosophy.
It's a philosophy, and it's the only diet worldwide. You can do it everywhere as well.
Yeah.
That's sustainable and healthy.
And that uses everything.
Everything.
This is purely plant-based. We could have included a little bit of meat in it if we wanted to, but we decided not to.
If it's not necessary, why should you?
It's not necessary. Okay. Yeah. It's not broken, don't mend it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint the cauliflower. This is
What do you think of the
oil.
Dutch cauliflower?
They're beautiful. I think what I look for in a cauliflower is that the florets.
What is
What is a floret? They're these little, what do you call them in
The
English?
bloom.
The bloom.
Yeah, the flower.
The bloom, the flower.
The flower kool.
I'm just going to paint this with turmeric.
Should I paint it?
Yeah, sure.
I paint it. I like to
You're
paint.
doing a
I'm
lovely
like
job.
Picasso.
And I'm just going to separate the leaves from the stalk. Okay, so we're just going to slice this all up nice and thin, and we're going to blanch it. So what we're going to do while Alex is doing that is we're going to grab a bowl of cold water.
Cold water to blanch.
This, of course, is essential when you're blanching vegetables, because what we want to do is we want to blanch them and preserve the colour.
Yeah.
So plenty of water, plenty of salt. Where's my salt? Plenty of salt, and we use.
What salt
this
do
is
you use?
unrefined sea salt, which is why it looks a bit dirty. But I love the flavour because I think because we put salt in most things that we cook, it's the really overlooked ingredient.
Do you think salt is bad for you?
No, not in quantities, in moderate quantities. I think it's necessary. And here, for instance, we're putting in a lot of salt, but bear in mind that what we're trying to avoid is that the natural minerals and salts in the cauliflower don't go into the water through osmosis.
Yep.
So by putting salt in the water, we make sure that all of those minerals and salts in the cauliflower stay in the cauliflower.
Stay in the cauliflower,
Yeah?
and it's also helpful for the color.
Exactly, and it's helpful for the colour. It keeps everything a nice colour. And the other important thing that's helpful for the colour is refreshing in cold water afterwards. Okay, so we've got our cauliflower ready. Key tip as well, of course, when you're blanching is don't put too much in at once.
No, because
the temperature goes down, and then so we'll just pop it in there. We'll let it come back to the boil, and once it comes back to the boil, we'll fish it out. This is thon pour thon. It's vinegar with sugar. And what we're going to add to this is a little bit of grated ginger. Okay.
What vinegar do you use?
What vinegar? I use apple vinegar.
And why do you use apple vinegar?
Because I think it's slightly less intense than wine vinegar.
Okay.
Okay, so you remember the bottom bit of the cauliflower?
Yes.
Well, so Alex has been chopping that into a very beautiful dice there. So we're just, into this syrup with ginger, we're just going to toss that cauliflower.
Oh, it smells so good.
And we're just going to pickle it. Okay,
Pickle
so
it.
we're going to give that
But
about
it's still boiling.
5 minutes. Yeah, this needs to boil because it's quite tough.
Okay.
We want it to be crunchy,
But not too crunchy.
but not too crunchy. There's quite a lot of syrup there.
Yes.
That same syrup, what we'll do is we'll strain that now. So we'll take our strainer,
Yeah.
we'll strain
So
the
you
roots,
use it again.
and we'll use it again afterwards to make the chutney with the leaves. We're going to keep this bit. This is the root, okay?
Yes.
That's our crispy root, which we're just going to pop into here. And then we're going to rescue the syrup,
Yeah.
which we've strained. I'm going to put a little bit of syrup there to keep that moist. Okay. And we're going to pop the syrup back in there. You can see it's already much thicker.
Yeah.
You can tell it's kind of quite syrupy. So we're going to put our spices in. We're going to put a bit of chili because I like a bit of kick.
What
Yeah?
chili is this?
These are actually, I think they're kind of a Kashmiri chili because they're bigger than bird's eye chilies, aren't they? To be quite honest, I don't know the name.
But it's dried.
No,
Or
it's
it's
fresh.
fresh.
It's
Oh.
fresh. And because I like spicy, I'm not going to take the seeds out. If you want to take the seeds out, just roll it between your fingers.
You like it
and
spicy.
the seeds pop out.
And what kind of spicy do you like? Like spicy?
I like spicy like Thai people like spicy.
Oh! So this one is really spicy.
So this one's going to be quite spicy. So we'll put some chili in there.
Go a little bit back because it's still hot.
It's still hot and yeah,
I have vinegar and spice in my eyes.
I'm going to pop some onion in there as well.
Onions, yeah.
Maybe not all of that onion, just half of it. And meanwhile, over here. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're just going to dry roast the spices a little bit to get that flavour out.
Yeah, then all the flavours come out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I love cardamom. It's one of my favourite spices. So we're going to put some cardamom.
But you grew up in England?
I grew up in England. I was born in London, and my dad was from South Wales. So we actually, when I was about 5 years old, we went to live in South Wales. And when I was growing up, the question that the kids always asked me at school, when I went to, when I changed classes or when a new kid came into the school, was always, where are you from? Yeah. Because and that question really meant you're not from here, and it was kind of made me feel like I didn't belong. Yeah. So that question of where are you from has kind of like followed me through my life. When people meet me for the first time, they say, where are you from? And I think we do it with food as well. We say, where's that dish from? And actually, later in life, when I started to travel to India and to Burma, and I discovered that actually when you went to those countries, you discovered that very often Indian food was called Indian food in the north of India, but it probably had more to do with Chinese food on the border with China than with other Indian food. Or that when you went to the east of Burma, the food was very similar to the food in Thailand. So actually kind of putting these names to food, saying it's from this country, is a bit like putting names to people, that they're from this country. Whereas we're not really from a country, we're the people made up of our histories and our stories, and it's the same with our food. Yeah.
This is all the smells I love.
That delicious smell. I think it's so important to toast spices before you use
them.
I
always do it, and I always tell it as well.
They're going in there.
In there, and then
okay.
Yes,
Papa. This is beginning to smell absolutely delicious. Now, what I want to do is I want it to cool down before I put that in. Because if I put it in when it's hot, it'll lose all its colour.
But not only that, it will. How do you say it?
It'll keep cooking.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Sharon's good food.
The idea of the clay is that afterwards, when we've wrapped the cauliflower in the clay and we bake it in clay, all of the flavour of the cauliflower with the turmeric and the olive oil that we painted on top of it stays inside.
And it will steam, like
it'll steam inside.
Our papillotes, but in clay.
Exactly. So we've changed the sheet of paper on top because it gets a bit moist from the clay.
Yes.
And Alex is going to wrap the cauliflower now in a sheet of grease-proof paper. And then, te ayudo. So
that the clay doesn't come directly on the cauliflower.
Exactly. Okay, so now we wrap the clay around it. And the idea is you have to make sure that the whole thing closes. Yeah. This is a new creation for us. We've done it for you. So let's hope it works out. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pop that on a baking tray.
Yes.
And we're going to put it in the oven, 200 degrees.
How long?
20 minutes. And then we'll take it out and we'll crack it open. Okay? So let's make the tiger nut milk.
Yes.
Okay? Okay. Tiger nuts. ¿Todo es azúcar?
Sugar?
Mucho azúcar, ¿no?
But you do it, you're cooking with your filling.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we'll see what it comes out like.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to put in a tad of sugar, cinnamon. Because cinnamon can dominate, can't it?
Just a
touch.
Yeah.
Just a touch. And we're going to put in a couple of lime leaves as well.
Oh, I always take it out. I only take the spices, the taste, and then I take it out.
Yeah, we're gonna sieve it up.
Oh yeah.
So it will all come out afterwards. Okay, so that all goes in there.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take some water.
Water here.
Okay, yeah, we can add it straight from here. That's right.
That's easy, yeah.
And more or less the proportion of water to tiger nuts is about twice as much water.
Twice as much water, yes.
So we're going to pop that on there and hope that it doesn't all come
it's
flying
a
out
bit old,
of the top.
so I'm going to stand here because...
Yeah, stand back. Oh.
Power on.
power. Okay, what's this? What does this do?
Let me see.
Okay.
Yes.
Tasting time.
I only taste when
It'll be
I
a bit
really
gritty,
don't
because-
know it. The product. If I don't know the product, I want to taste it. It smells, it tastes like pina colada.
It's very subtle, huh?
I love it. Oh, it's very, how do you say it? Stevig.
It's very thick.
Thick, yes.
But what you can do with this then is the pulp, you can extend it and dry it in the oven and crisp it.
Yes, so you make like a kroekoek.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I do that with potato.
Yeah.
It looks
Okay,
so creamy.
so here we've got this lovely creamy tiger nut milk. Do you want to have another taste?
I want to have another taste, yes.
You have to imagine drinking this in Valencia on a hot summer's day. So the final process in preparing the Ajo Blanco is to use this to make the white garlic soup.
Sharon's good food.
Right, so we're going to turn what's left of
yep.
the horchata.
I cannot stop sip it.
So we're going to change it from a drink into a soup, this. Oh. Okay, so we're going to add, I think for this amount, just half a clove of garlic. And what I've done is I've blanched the garlic, so it's not too strong. Okay.
You don't like strong garlic?
Not too strong in this.
Because
I like
otherwise
the
the
taste
tiger
of
nuts.
Yeah, it kills the taste of everything else. Okay, and we're just going to pour in the rest of our tiger nut milk. And what we're going to make is a much thicker soup, okay?
Yes.
So let's just drop that in there. And what I'm going to add, while it's whizzing around, I'm going to drizzle in a little bit of olive oil. Olive oil. Oh!
I love tiger nuts.
Okay, so we'll just strain that through there. Very little waste
Yes,
there.
very little waste, yeah.
Just
to soak it up, what you said.
to get rid of any little bits of bread
Yes,
that
I
might
see
be
it.
left
Oh,
in
yeah,
there.
the bread.
Or any bits of garlic. Yeah?
This is so lovely.
Okay. And that's now our finished Ajo Blanco.
Sharon's good food.
So this is, do you remember the blanched leaves?
Yes.
Okay, which we have here. This is the syrup with the onion and the chili and the spices, and it's now cooled down.
Yes,
okay?
and it's also a bit thicker.
And it's a bit thicker. So we're just going to pop that in there to make our chutney of cauliflower leaves. The moment of truth.
Yes.
Would you like to break open the cauliflower?
Yes.
So it's basically like if it was an egg, you just...
But I'm going to look real stupid when I do this and it doesn't break.
No, it will. Go for it.
I do it in Dutch. You say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Oei! Perfect.
Dat is echt leuk.
Would you like to
Yes.
unwrap?
Unwrap. Let me see. It's a little bit hot. Oh.
You did it absolutely beautifully. You
But
couldn't have
it
done
is
it better.
beautiful. That's why it's so important that you have
the outside layer,
Yeah.
that's right. So we're just going to roll this off so that we don't get any clay.
It looks like gold.
Going to put a little bit of the chutney underneath.
Yes.
Okay, so we have the leaves.
Yes,
We're going to strain off the sauce. The cardamom pods are in there. So we don't want too much liquid from this, okay?
No.
How could anybody have thrown those leaves and
Away.
those stalks away
I don't know.
when they look so beautiful? Yeah?
It looks more than beautiful. It looks
Doesn't it?
fresh.
Okay, so we're going to turn our cauliflower over. I'm just going
Wow.
to take the whole thing.
I wonder what the farmer, Gerjan, is going to think of his cauliflower right now.
And we're going to use the whole thing. We're not going to leave any stalk behind.
No.
Now we're going to add to this lovely
The crunch.
crunch
With the ginger.
with the ginger of the stems. And again, I don't want it to be too sweet, so I'm going to strain off most of the syrup. I'm just going to sprinkle that
And it's got the crunch as well.
around our cauliflower.
This is so lovely. And then to think it's all the cauliflower with some extra spices and wow.
We're going to put a little bit of satay, because what I want to do is I want the satay, the taste of the satay to be separate from the Ajo Blanco.
Yeah.
So we don't want this to be, thank you, that's great. So we're just going to put a little dab there. on each of those, just to give a little hint of satay, a little reminder of the peanuts.
Peanuts for everybody
around it. Okay. And a few little coriander leaves, because we're talking here with satay about Southeast Asia. You know what we're missing? Your favorite bit?
Yes, now everything's my favorite. I cannot choose.
So we just need to do a little bit of our
and it looks
Ajo
so
Blanco
nice.
to finish off. And I think we have the makings of a perfect marriage, a perfect fusion, a perfect cultural encounter.
Yeah, you can stand
For the
over
farmer
here.
and his wife.
Wow.
I want to try.
Yes,
Wow.
It's good.
I think it's really honoring the cauliflower,
I cannot wait.
but adding so much to it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what? I think the answer, good food, it's very difficult to add to it, but the most important thing is not to take away from it.
Yes.
Steve, it was really, really nice to have you here.
It's been fantastic.
With you,
Loved it.
wingman. Come enjoy us. Come enjoy us. Thank you so much. Ik vond het weer fantastisch vandaag. Sharon's Good Food. Ben jij benieuwd naar de volgende aflevering? Nu krijg je al een tip voor de volgende keer.
Sharon's Good Food.
Lust je nog een video? Dat treft, want er staan er meer dan 1400 voor je klaar. Abonneer je op het YouTube-kanaal of schrijf je in voor de nieuwsbrief, dan hou ik je wekelijks op de hoogte van nieuw materiaal.